So welcome to today's episode of Freewheeling. I am Dr. Dave Nichol. This is the Veterinary Business Question and Answer Show. You fire in the questions on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, and I will choose the good ones, or at least the ones I know anything about, and I'll spit the answers down here for you, completely free of charge. No, the author does not take any responsibility for actual real outcomes occurring in the real world. That's down to you. Okay, disclaimer aside, let's get on to today's question, which comes from, and I'm going to embarrassingly butcher this name because it is a Scottish name. It's from Ailey Kirkbride, and I have this horrible feeling I should be pronouncing that Kubri as a surname. Ailey, text in, email me, correct me. I apologize if I've just butchered your name, but your question is a great question, so here we go. Can mentoring benefit the mentor as well as the mentee? If so, how can this best be achieved? What a cracking question. When you're developing your teams, there are 3 phases that you go through whenever you're bringing somebody on board your team. Okay, before we answer the question, I'm going to layer over some science and then I'll get into my answers to the question. Okay, so the first thing we need to understand is the phases of learning. Okay, so we start out unconsciously incompetent. Okay, we are dumb as rocks. Actually, we're more dangerous than dumb as rock at that point because we are unaware of how little we know in any situation. Okay, this phase actually can be sort of false confidence. You think you got surgery covered, and then you get in the theater and you start cutting stuff and it doesn't work out, then suddenly you work out actually you are quite incompetent. So now you've shifted, that's actually not a bad thing, it's a good thing, you've shifted into your consciously incompetent phase, and now you know a lot more about what you don't know. Okay, so now you're open to learning. Okay, now the next phase beyond that is consciously competent, so you're having to learn, you're practicing, you're doing, but it's not second nature. And then finally we arrive at unconsciously competent, or awesome is another way of saying that. Okay, so they're the phases you go through with learning. Now when we're taking people on the journey, there are 3 distinct ways of helping them to learn and transition through those phases. So when people are dumb as rocks, or when they're unconsciously incompetent, then we are training them, okay, which is very much a telling mode. Okay, we're going to tell them what we expect, tell them how to do something, show the equipment, and really we are in full control. We have utter responsibility for the outcome there because this person doesn't know how to do it. The second phase is mentoring. So we transition as that knowledge starts to improve, we transition into mentoring. Okay, so somewhere between consciously incompetent and consciously competent is where mentoring sits. Okay, and so we are spending time with that person, giving them advice, giving them feedback. This fits nicely with the see one, do one, teach one kind of method. And then finally we get to somebody who is at a much higher level of skill and competency, and they are either consciously competent or unconsciously competent. And now we're in the third category, and that is coaching. Okay, now we're taking on new problems, new challenges. Instead of us having any responsibility for the challenges, we're now just asking questions that get them to access the knowledge they already have in their brain, either from a similar situation or from knowledge they have they can apply to this situation. So they're innovating, but they have totally got responsibility for the outcome, and that's why coaching is so powerful. All right, let's dial back to the question, Ailey. So, can mentoring be beneficial for the mentor and the mentee? Absolutely. There's so many benefits for you as the mentor to get into this relationship. Okay, so I think one of the first things is, and certainly as somebody who goes around the world speaking and training and mentoring people at conferences all over the world, one of the big advantages for me in doing that is I have to be confident that what I'm telling people is good stuff, like it's well researched, it's well written, it's current, it's up to date. And also it's stuff I'm actually doing and I'm working on and bringing to bear on my businesses, okay? So it's not just stuff I'm reading in a book, it's stuff that I'm playing with and working with and actually being able to, I can look somebody in the eye and say, this is good, this is current, this works. So this is why you should listen, okay? So actually it helps, it keeps me honest and it makes me work hard to learn, so I keep developing and growing. So I think that's one of the big benefits for you. I think one of the other big benefits is you are now in a relationship with somebody else. And hopefully that is a caring, fostering relationship. And although the role of the mentor is very much with one arm round, sort of a buddy for somebody, you're not responsible for all of the knowledge. Some of that is their responsibility. And I think the great thing about any relationship is it's a two-way street. So they're learning from you, but you're also learning from them. The foundation of any relationship, whether it's a veterinarian or a client in the exam room, or whether it's a boss and an employee, is trust. And I think this is the massive opportunity for anybody who's in a mentoring relationship. The trust that can form between you and the person you're mentoring is enormous. You will have a far stronger, far deeper, far more powerful relationship with that person. And guess what happens when you've got great relationships? Like, management is easy when you've got strong relationships. So if you're a boss, or if you're a leader in some position and you've got people reporting into you and you start mentoring them, well, you're ticking one of their big need boxes, okay? All the graduate surveys, all the data that we have says that graduates want clinical and emotional support. They're their top two things by miles. If you're able to supply that in the form of mentoring, you're going to be top of the pops as far as your team are concerned. And it also shows that you care, okay? Sharing's caring, and you're sharing all of that knowledge, so it just there's no better way to demonstrate that you care more for them. That is going to get you the above and beyond service levels, the above and beyond commitment to the job and to the team that you just don't get if you show up and pay somebody a paycheck, okay? So you're massively boosting people's engagement. Now, what's the downside? The downside is it requires an investment of your time. And as we're seeing again and again with questions coming into the show, everyone feels time poor, okay? So whilst I strongly advise you to have your own training or mentoring or coaching relationships based on wherever the people and the skill level is in your business, be aware that there are outside organizations that can help you with this as well. Okay, so yes, I run one of those. It's called VetX, and we have a mentoring group for new and recent graduates. We take vets up to 0 to 5 years, and we teach them the things that maybe you don't have the time or you don't have the skills, you've not acquired the knowledge just yet. So that's an option. There are other people out there who can provide mentoring services, and you can also learn to be a better mentor yourself. How do you do that? Guess what? It's easy. You get a mentor. Okay, so there's a number of options, and so I hope what I've covered here is the main benefits as I see them to having that relationship for you as the mentor. I hope that you are aware that there are options if you're struggling with time that can also assist you. And I think whatever else is true, I think that if you are in a position to commit time to your team will bond to you better, you'll have better relationships, your practice is going to be a happier place to work, okay? You want antidote to toxic culture, you want antidote to poor practice performance, then give to get. And the best thing you can give is the most valuable resource you have. It's your time, your expertise, your knowledge. Got it? Go. Be safe, be well, be happy. Dr. Dave out.